We will go over what exactly is part of speech and then we'll write code in Spacy. Part of speech is something that you study in your basic English grammar. So if you are aware about these concepts, you can skip the first initial part. And since this is not an English grammar tutorial, I won't go too much in depth, just give you a brief overview. You can go to YouTube and find 10,000 tutorials on POS. When you have a sentence like this, Dhawal ate fruits, that sentence is made up of different parts. And those parts are called part of speech. Dhawal, the person who is doing an act of eating fruit, is called noun. The action, which is eating, is a verb. And the thing that is being eaten, fruits, is noun. So noun is basically a person, place, thing, or an idea, whereas verb is an action. It's like you play cricket. So playing is a verb, whereas you is a noun. Let's look at some other example. Maybe by this time you're watching this video, Elon would have been to Mars. So if there is a sentence like this, Elon and Mars are nouns. It's like a place, person, thing. Those are nouns. Any action which is flew is a verb. But when you look at the second sentence, we don't say Elon all the time. We replace it with he. So anytime you find a word that is a replacement of your original noun, that is called pronoun. It's a substitute of a noun. He, she, our, you, they, all these are pronouns. Now instead of saying Dhawal ate fruits, I can say I ate fruits. So in that case, Dhawal is a noun, whereas I is a pronoun. I can also say I ate many fruits. This is a real picture, by the way. I used to eat a lot of fruits when I had some health issues. I was on fruits for like 3 months. Here, many is called adjective because it describes the noun, adds a meaning to it. I ate fruits, but how many fruits? You can also say I ate sweet fruits, or I ate citrus fruits, or I ate tropical fruits. All these are adjectives. Adjectives will add a meaning to a noun. Here the noun is fruits. So it describes the noun a little better. I can say I bought Tesla, or I can say I bought red Tesla. So red is an adjective. Smart engineer cracked the interview. Here I have a typo here, but basically the word smart is an adjective. I want to take a moment and talk about firstlanguage.in, which makes building NLP applications easier for you. You can perform various NLP tasks, which are shown here, via this platform. If you're using a Spacy type of library, you download it, you run your code locally. If you are training a heavy model, you need higher compute resources such as GPUs. Whereas here, everything is in cloud. You just make an HTTP call, things run on the cloud. You don't need a local machine with a lot of compute resources. There is a demo which you can see by clicking on this link, and I have bought this bulb recently, and you see there is a negative review on Amazon. And when I copy paste this here and I select text classification, and when I say submit, it immediately classifies that as negative. And if I have a positive review, I just copy paste it here, and if I submit it, it will classify this as a positive. See, it's pretty powerful. So it makes things much easier for you. You don't need to have like too much like detailed NLP knowledge. You can just call APIs and get things done quickly for yourself. The free tier is something you can try today. You can just sign in and you can get an API access. Once you sign in, if you go to dashboard, you will get your own API key, and you can use that API key to make the calls. They have SDKs available both in Python and TypeScript. Go check it out. The link is in video description below. And thanks firstlanguage.in for sponsoring this video. How adjective adds meaning to a noun. Similarly, an adverb adds a meaning to a verb. So adverb is something that describes verb, adjective, or adverb. I can say I ate many fruits, but now I'm saying I slowly ate many fruits, or I quickly ate many fruits. You can say dog runs, or you can say dog quickly ran. So quickly, slowly, all these are adverbs. They describe your activity a little better. They add a little more meaning to your activity, which is eating here or dog running. Running is that activity. Maria always scores 90% of her work. Maria is one of those studious kids. So always is describing the activity of scoring. Scoring is a verb here. But how? So you're saying always. She gets 90% always. Or we can say Maria sometimes scores 90% of her work. So see, sometimes versus always, it's a different situation. She quickly learned NLP. We can say she learned NLP, but how? She slowly learned NLP or quickly. So here, quickly, slowly, these are called adverb. And by the way, these are part of speech, okay? Pronoun, adverb, verb, adjective, noun. If you Google part of speech, you will find total 8 part of speech. So we have covered few. Let's cover one more. I'm gonna watch this movie, by the way, as my friends watched it and they really loved it. And when I was talking with my friends, I was like, wow, Doctor Strange made $265 million. So the wow, the emotion that you have, you can say, hey, give me back my Lamborghini. Alas, he got a no from Google interview. So, hey, alas, wow, these are all interjection. They represent a strong emotion or an expression, So those are called interjections. Let's look at some other type of part of speech. So you can have a sentence like this. I want to eat pizza, but I want to be healthy. Hulk took a pen and started writing a story. Do you think Hulk can sit at a place and write a novel? Probably not. You either give me a job or $10K for wasting my time in the interview. Here is a frustrated interview candidate asking for compensation for his 6 hours of time. But and or these are connecting different groups of words, and those are called conjunction. They just connect a group of words together, right? Here, he took a pen, that is one group of word, started writing story, another group of word, and just connected them. So and, but, or, these are conjunction. Then this is called preposition. It links a noun to another word. So whenever you see, okay, Thor is on the bus or at the bus or in the bus. See, in, on, at, there is a different meaning. So these prepositions are very powerful. They can change the meaning of the whole sentence. So they basically link a noun. So here, when I say Thor is on the bus, Thor is one noun. The other noun is bus. On is linking those two nouns. Like Thor is the bus. Thor is in the bus, at the bus, on the bus. So in, on, at, these are kind of connectors. They link a noun with another word. And they're called preposition. So here are some list of prepositions. If you Google preposition examples, you will find a big list. So we talked briefly about these 8 part of speech. You can Google it. Like if you do Google here and you do part of speech and you go to images, see, you will find this is like basic English grammar, okay? Nothing specific to NLP. You can also do part of speech in YouTube. You'll find n number of tutorials. If you're a native Hindi speaker, I like this person, Dear Sir, that channel is really good. So you can watch videos if you want to know more details. But for now, I'm interested in the coding. So what we'll do is I have already launched a Jupyter notebook. So if you have not, you can run this Jupyter notebook command. It will launch a notebook. So let me pull that over here. So I'm going to create a new notebook here. So I have a couple of files, so ignore that. But I'm going to create a new Python notebook and import Spacy from that. Okay, so that's the first step you do. Import Spacy and you load your model. So how do you load your model? Like this. And I'm going to create a document with the sentence that we looked at, and you know that when you do for token in doc, you can do something like this to print all the tokens. Now, how do you print the part of speech for each of these tokens? There's something called POS that you can use, and I'm gonna just separate them out. So POS will print just the number, but if you do POS underscore, now see, E11 is a proper noun. It's a noun, but when I say I or a person, it is just a noun. But proper noun means a specific person. So when I say E11, that is a proper noun. When I say person, a person, right? Person. Okay, person is also a noun. So you will notice one thing, which is the POS tags that you see here, they're not exactly 8, which I described. These 8 are the fundamentals, the English grammar adjectives. Sometimes there is some confusions. For example, if you look at, okay, part of speech article on, let's say, Wikipedia. See here, it will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now here, there are a couple of more, which is numeral, article, and determiner, right? So you can say, okay, we will look into it. So here, what you can do is, let me just print some more information. So there is something called Spacy.explain, and you can give your POS tag and it will explain you. So instead of just a code word, it will say proper noun, verb. Now 2 is at position. This is a preposition, but at position is like a bigger group. There is something called preposition, postposition, and at position is like a upper level. Okay, that's why I'm saying what Spacy is printing here is not exactly the same, but you're getting an idea. Okay, so this is how you can print the part of speech and their explanation in Spacy. When you load this English train model, it will create, we have seen this before, right? It will create this pipeline. And these are the components, right? Like a tagger, parser. These components will create these part of speech. So you get this out of the box, okay? Because you're using a trained model. If you are using just a blank model, you won't get any of these goodies for free. And I want to now show you a couple of articles. So you might be confused about preposition versus adposition. So there is an article. I'm going to link all these articles. As I said, this is not an English grammar tutorial. If I try to cover English grammar, this is going to be a big video. So I will cover all these articles just in case you have any questions. And here I'm going to link this particular documentation as well, where it is mentioning all the tags. So here we saw, right, proper noun, verb, punctuation, things like that. Those are all mentioned here. See, at position, punctuation is punct. So they're all mentioned. So as you can see, the list is of course longer than 8. It's not just 8. See, there are so many of them because they are doing subcategorization. There is something called other. if you have something garbage like some other token, there's something called X. Now that X is not part of that 8 POS tag that we saw in English grammar, but that's okay. So now let's take a different example. Doctor Strange. You might have seen this movie already. And if I print same thing, see, wow is a interjection. Then this exclamation mark is a punctuation. Made is a verb. Okay, now one question. Made is a verb, but it is a past tense. So is there a way that I can know this is a past tense? Good news is there is a way. There's something called tags. So if you print a tag, so let me print it here. So I'm going to print something called token.tag. And see, for made, it printed VBD. Now, what is VBD? Again, you can use Spacy.explain for this thing. Token.tag. And you will notice it says verb but past tense. So tag underscore is nothing but it's a further categorization. It has a lot more details than what POS contains. Okay, so that's what the tag is. When you have a numeral, it says cardinal number. When you have punctuation mark, it says sentence closer. Correct. If you have a punctuation mark such as, let's say, comma here. So here it says punctuation mark, comma, and here it says punctuation mark, sentence closer. So it gives you little more detail than just the POS tag. Now, see, you'll realize that Spacy is kind of smart and it can understand whether it's a past tense, present tense. We already saw, but let's look at one more example where you have this sentence, he quits the job. So here, doc 1. So, okay. So doc 1, when you look at doc 1, let me comment this. Doc 1 is quits. Okay. And if you print doc1.text and tag, it will say third person singular present. So this is in present tense. But what if I change this and I just say he quit the job? So I'm just removing S. Now it knows that this is a past tense. When you have S, it's a present tense, the third person present. Here it says past tense. So Spacy is smart enough that it can figure out what kind of tense it is. And you can already see the application in when you're building NLP application. Knowing this kind of information, having these tags is gonna be extremely useful. Now let's do something fun. So I want to open Microsoft's earning report. So all these big companies, display their earning report, basically their quarterly performance. And I want to grab the text from this earning report. Let's say I get some of these text. Okay, so you just say copy and you paste that, and that's a text that I have, and I want to do some NLP analysis on this. So I'll create a doc out of this text. Okay, and one of the things you might want to do potentially is you want to remove all the punctuation marks and all the extra characters from it. For example, if this had a character like, I'm just putting etc. etc is one of those extra characters. And if I have something like this, I can say for token in doc, you can print the POS. Okay, so you can print And you will notice that while you have proper noun and noun, you also have things like space. For example, spaces is not useful. Maybe based on the use case, you want to remove punctuation also. You want to get rid of all these extra characters so that you can perform some analysis. You can build some NLP application on top of this text. You also have, let's see, where is my etc? See, the type of etc is X. The POS tag is X. Dot is also X. And these are not useful. So you want to remove them. So how do you remove them? So you have punctuation. So I want to get rid of all this. So what I can do is I can say if token.pos in, meaning if it is one of these, then remove it. So you can say if it is space, if it is X, if it is punctuation. See, I have all this. These are all unnecessary characters. I want to get rid of them. See, some of the punctuation, by the way, they might be necessary based on what kind of application you are building. But I just want to demonstrate how exactly POS tagging can be used in a real world application. So you can say if you do not, you will get the reverse, right? Those tokens, space X, punctuations are filtered, and you can save these tokens in, let's say, here, and you can just say filter tokens dot append token. And then if you look at these filter tokens, you will find that all that garbage is been cleaned out. Okay, now one other thing you want to do with this text is you want to know how many nouns are present, how many verbs are present. That could be one of the useful thing you can extract. So Spacy provides a convenient API called count by. So this count by will give you the count of all those tokens. So you can say spacy dot attributes dot. See here, if you do dot, you can extract the count by for tags, POS. You can do it for POS. Let me show you POS, and it is just showing you that POS 96 has 13 count. Now what is 96? Well, let's see. So doc dot vocab 96 dot text. So it is saying there are 13 proper nouns in the text, and if you want, you can just it's a dictionary. So for key value in count dot items, this is you might be aware about this basic Python syntax that you can iterate through the keys and values of dictionary like this, and you can print what? So you can print what kind of POS that is, and something like this. So in this Microsoft earning report, the paragraph which I grabbed, there are 13 proper nouns, there are 48 nouns, there are these many punctuations, numerals, etc. All right, so that was a quick demo of Spacy tutorial. I want to move on to the most important part of this tutorial, which is an exercise. So I have this exercise for you. Check a video description. Always check video description, folks. I provide a lot of useful information. In that, there is a link to this exercise. I grabbed a story from a cnbc.com. It's a story on inflation. Inflation is rising. So you need to extract all the nouns, then extract all the numbers, print a count. Very simple exercise. In the future, I might add more exercises as well. And if you are interested in contributing, all you have to do is add a new exercise along with a solution and give me a pull request on my GitHub. So you will find my GitHub here. You can give back. But the idea is we want to have more exercises for the people who are doing the practice. Make sure you don't click on a solution link before you have tried it on your own, because if you click on it before you didn't try on your own first, horrible things are going to happen, right? You will see a fire coming out of your keyboard. It has that kind of magic inbuilt into it. So make sure you do exercise on your own and then click on the solution. Thank you very much for watching, and share it with your friends if they are also trying to learn this thing.